I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't hit, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous, down, wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank, I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze, the roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag, I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag, I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. Plus a family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket, Houston, we got a problem, man. Perfect, let them watch me elevating, got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit, nose diving in the housing, woo. Watch how I get ahead, watch how I get ahead, watch how I get ahead, woo. Watch how I set it up, bet you I shut it down, watch how I get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner, got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare, I'm aligned with the winner about the cage. I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide, never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. What is going on, Mafia? We got an amazing show for you tonight as Bitcoin has absolutely faked out to the upside of the range and then ripped on back down and faked out of the lower levels of the range. And now we are just sitting right back at the high of the range, guys. And as you know, We've been trading this range for quite some time. Is this thing finally going to break up to the higher prices that we have our eyes set on at that macro buy bit value area high, or are we simply going to continue ranging? Are we going to get a move to the downside? What the heck is this thing Bitcoin going to do? We're going to be taking a look at it on tonight's live stream. So the Candle Mafia is not in the dark on Bitcoin's next move. But before we jump into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure, which we will be spinning on Friday. And the more spins, the more free stuff you guys get. If we get 550 likes on tonight's live stream, guys, we are going to be giving away 5 of these Frankie Candles hats, which we just recently had a mishap with. So we actually just lost 150 hats of inventory that we had. They got completely ruined. Hopefully, if we give away 5, hopefully not a lot of people order them on the website because we're trying to fix that problem right now. But guys, before we jump into it, let's go ahead and say what's up to the Mafia. I see everybody going nuts in chat. What the heck is going on in chat here? Oh, no. I see those golden emojis. Shout out to Golden for gifting those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Unbelievable. If you guys don't know, Golden is literally the biggest sponsor of this YouTube channel. He gives away those memberships, literally thousands of dollars of memberships, I think like every week. So shout out to Golden. We appreciate you. I actually got a chance to meet Golden and talk to him on a video call. Super, super cool dude. I already thought he was cool, but then I met him. He's even cooler than I thought. But shout out to Golden, bro. Thank you so much for always supporting the channel. And shout out to everybody who just got a membership. If you just got one, you just got access to some special emojis. And one of those emojis is a golden one. Go ahead and drop it in chat if you just got a membership. But let's see who we got in here tonight. We got Crypto Santa. Ho, ho, ho. Shout out to him. We got Dave Digital, as always. Says Doc's Golden. Shout out to Dave Digital, bro. Dave Digital just always taking it a step further. Shout out to Dave. I will not dox Golden. Shout out to Golden, bro. And shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you for being here, bro. As always, the Mafia would not be the same without you, brother. So shout out to Dave. We got Nikki94 Boo in the chat. Red Elephant, Anna Maria, Dave, Dave Patton, or Dave Patone, as I like to call him. Shout out to you, bro. He says, congrats, everybody. I guess he's congratulating everybody for the memberships. Shout out to Louis OG. Shout out to the Louis out there. Shout out to you, bro. We got Ellie Crypto, French Toaster. As always, good to see you. Northside, what is going on? Said, yo, what up, though, Frankie? Hashtag CandleMafia. Shout out to Northside. Bully Barry. Darren does things. As always, what is going on? We got Don in the house, Edward, and last but not least, guys, we got Dave P., not to be confused with Dave D. But right now, guys, Bitcoin's ripping up to the top of that range. So let's go ahead, try to figure out what the heck this thing's going to do. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get it. So here we are, guys. And just a quick reminder here, guys. I am running without a stream deck right now, so bear with me as the things might be a little bit off right now. But I'm planning on fixing this tonight. Let's see. Happy evening, everybody. Shout out to Sam S. What is going on? Hello from Norway. We got Bina. Shout out to you tuning in from Norway. What is going on? And Chemistry Bro tuning in. We got Rob the Crypto Snob, Chemistry Bro, Tyler Jordan, Tony D, Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy. As you guys know, we got the most amazing mods in the game. So show them some love in the chat while I'm breaking down this Bitcoin for you guys. Show the mods some love. And loop Dave Digital and Golden in there as well. But let's go. Oh, Crypto Pollo too. What is going on, brother? Good to see you in here. But let's go ahead and take a look at this range, guys. Now, obviously, we are actually, let me pull, this is the live stream chart. Let's pull this up. But guys, obviously, we have simply been looking over the past few days at this range, right? We have simply just been trading within this little value area. And as you guys know, the value area is a huge part of our analysis here on the channel, as it gives us a reliable range that we can scalp long and scalp short as price consolidates before another move to the upside. And I know a lot of people were probably thinking earlier today, as Bitcoin was absolutely tanking, oh my God, Frankie Candles, we're nuking. What is going on? Please help me. Are you still bullish? Are you still looking for the targets you have to the upside, which, by the way, is that value area high at 54,467? And the answer is yes, guys. The answer is yes. I am still anticipating this potential target to get hit based off of a few different factors. Number one, being that a touch of this level will simply complete the fill of this entire range from the top of the bull market on Bybit, from the value area low up to the POC, and then up to the value area high. And I am still looking for that target to get hit. But if you guys were watching the stream yesterday, you will know that we were looking at a potential possibility of a pullback. And if we got that pullback, I even said on the live stream last night, I am not going to be freaking out because even if it wound up being a bigger breakdown that we wound up seeing, we did have key support down here, which brings us to our key levels of support, which remain the same as yesterday, which is sitting down here at that $50,000 level, where we not only have a golden pocket, but we also have a point of control from this area of consolidation, as well as a fresh daily level, which is not marked here on the chart, but it is at the bottom of this blue box, closer to about $49,723. So earlier today, guys, and we're going to talk about really what happened here as we got kind of a wonked out swing failure pattern from the top of the range here. It only confirmed on certain time frames. Wasn't the most obvious trade to be taken there, but we did get that swing failure if you were looking at the order flow. And as we came back down, well, we basically came up, wrecked all the shorts up here, and then came back down and took out the longs. And simply put, we are back within our range, guys. And this just goes ahead. This just shows. I was going to say it just goes ahead and shows. I don't think that's English. But this just shows, guys, the reliability of trading these volume profiles and why it is a key factor in my analysis. It is simply because they are super reliable as we are looking for shorts on the deviations above the volume profile or above the value area high, and we are looking to long the deviations below the value area low, and this just continues to play on, as the range continues to develop. We talk about this a lot, right? Specifically in the premium Discord, I talk about this a lot, where this is literally the bread and butter of our trading strategy. Now, obviously, it does rely on a lot of specific confirmations to actually enter the trades. However, we always talk about how price action ranges 80% of the times, guys, right? So you get the impulses to the upside, and then you get a range. You get an impulse down, an impulse up, and then you get a range. And then you get an impulse up, a range, an impulse down, a range, an impulse up, a range, right? So we are ranging more often than we are actually in just a parabolic move up or an absolute nuke to the floor. We are usually ranging, which is why it is such a big part of our analysis, because not only does it allow us to continue making money trading when the market is boring, but it also allows us to use the volume profile as context to figure out a good entry to get into the bigger positions, right? So we just scalp the ranges, and then whenever the range, because obviously you might be thinking to yourself, well, Frankie, obviously, the price isn't just going to range forever, so what happens when you break the range? Well, obviously, again, we talk about this often. When price decides to finally break up decisively or down decisively out of the range, chances are you are probably, if we broke down big time here and came back down to these key levels of support, chances are we were probably going to be in a short from a deviation above the range. And in hindsight, if this wound up being a big dump, that is going to look like we are short from the top, because we technically would be short from the top. And if price broke to the upside, chances are we would probably be in a long position from down here on the deviation below the range. And this is simply why we trade this way, guys, because it is super reliable and I don't want to say super predictable, because trading is very unpredictable, but it is as predictable as trading can get, or as predictable as price action can get. Obviously doesn't work 100% of the time, but I did just want to talk about this a little bit today, as just once again, right, we faked out to the upside, came back into the range as expected, deviated to the downside, get back into the range as expected, and we are just simply still sitting here waiting for price to break up to our higher target, and in the meantime, simply scalping the range. With that being said, guys, key levels of support remain exactly the same. I've already explained why this is a key level of support, being the daily fresh daily level, as well as the golden pocket, and that little naked point of control that is coming from, or not naked point of control, but this point of control from this area of consolidation. If you're sitting here like, Frankie, what are you talking about? Simply put, if you pull this little range right here, you do have we're going to have to unextend it to the right, trying to make me a liar, trading view. But if we unextend this to the right, you can see here that naked point of control, not naked point of control, I keep saying that, but the point of control of this little area of consolidation flies right through this level as well, making it a key point of interest. And then other than that, guys, I would like to actually pull up let me pull up my face camera here real quick while I pull up our the high block capital heat maps real quick here, because I do want to take a look at these heat maps, because go ahead and pull that screen. Come back over to the heat map, drag it on over here, and let's take a look. Let's run this 6-month chart. actually, I'm going to come down to the 1 month because, guys, there's multiple reasons why we're looking for a move up to 50K, right? 50K, up to 54.4, that value area high right here. There is a reason why we are expecting these levels, right? It is not just because I am blindly bullish because I believe in Bitcoin, although I do. It's not just because I'm bullish on crypto and I think everything's going to $1 million and I'm just looking to hold this. I'm not just looking to hold my long trades up to this level blindly, right? There are reasons to potentially expect this breakout to these higher prices, and it has to do with multiple things. We know that the value area high of the range is likely to act as a magnet, just like the point of control acts as a magnet. As soon as you flip the value area low to support, you look to come up. That POC is going to suck your price up to that level, and then you obviously see a little bit of a correction, and then that value area high is going to be the next magnetic point. So just with the way that the volume profiles behave, that is one reason we are expecting the higher prices. And on top of that, I actually would like to take a look at the order flow in a second as well. But looking at the heat map, guys, I do just want to talk about this really quickly, right? Because another reason we could potentially be looking for that move up to about 54.4 is the fact that you can't make it up, guys. You cannot make this up. You can see here now, this is not like the most obvious chunk of liquidity, but you can see here on the liquidation heat maps, you can see that these yellow bars, this kind of concentration of highlighted bars, is letting you know that there is some kind of liquidity sitting above these highs, and this also acts as a magnet for price, guys. These liquidation levels also act as a magnet, and you can see if we actually look at where these liquidations are sitting, they start at about, we've already dug into them a little bit right here before when we got that swing failure pattern of these previous highs and got the correction, but if we continue up here, guys, the remaining liquidity starts at about $53,100, and where does it end? Well, look at that. Coincidentally, I know it's kind of hard to see with all these labels on, but you can see right here at 54,400 is kind of where you start to lose the density of these liquidation levels, which lines up almost perfectly with our $54,467 value area high, meaning that we likely have a lot of people who are sitting in short positions with their stop losses and liquidation points sitting in the space between where we're at right now and that value area high level, which is the next key level of resistance. So with that being said, what can we use that information for? Well, if we get a breakout here, once we crack that $53,100 level, which is basically where we were, what we rejected right here, right? We just tapped onto those liquidation levels and got a little bit of a rejection. But if we do wind up pushing back up here and we break into this liquidity zone, it could cause a quick cascade of liquidations and stop losses to be getting hit, which would cause extra buy pressure to enter the market and push price potentially up to our key target, which is going to be sitting there at $54,467. So we are not just simply looking at this target and blindly hoping for price to come up, but we are going to be, we are expecting that to happen based off of the actual liquidity sitting in the market. So that is what we're looking at on Bitcoin for the most part, guys. Other than that, taking a look at Market Cipher, obviously, we are going to be taking a look at the daily here. You could see that we did get that red dot to confirm. However, our VWAP is kind of flat here. So if we are going to get a blast up into this level, I would think that this green dot on the daily is likely going to be the thing that starts the move. So for that reason, I am going to be watching the daily pretty closely, and then coming on down to the 16, the 12, and even the 10 hour, which is now printing a green dot. This could kind of start that cascade of the move up, right? 10 hour green dot may give us a push above the range, and then if that 12 hour, 16 hour, and daily are going to follow, that might be what's able to push us up. And remember, the real thing we're looking to do is crack above that $53,100 level to shoot into those liquidations, which will fuel the move up to that next target. Shout out to Dave Digital, says, but Rob, how does TradingView know my study is open, though? Shout out to Dave Digital talking about TradingView studies. Shout out to Dave. But we're going to 57K market. Shout out to Elionics. What is going on, bro? Let's go ahead and see. Shout out to CoinWatcher, said, I'm late, but I'm here. Shout out to CoinWatcher. What is going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in. But as we take a look here, guys, 57K. Is 57K a plausible target? Well, shout out to Elionics. I actually wouldn't argue against you, right? Because I actually pretty much agree with you, right? Because what happens, that's a really good question, right? If we are going to keep shooting up here, what could we be expecting to come next on price, right? Well, if we pull our macro golden pocket from the high all the way to the low, and let me actually go ahead and come into the settings and redo my settings here. You can see right up here, Shout out to Elionics. It all makes sense. But if we do wind up cracking that value area high, guys, you know that there is a possibility of deviating above this macro range. And where is that next target going to be? Simply put, it's going to be here at that $57,680 or so dollar 786 Fibonacci retracement level, sitting right above the range. And shout out to Elionics. This is why I'm not arguing with you, right? Not that I typically argue with people, but this is why I'm actually agreeing with you, is because, dude, this is 57K. Is there a reason to come up to 57K? Yes, it does look like that because, guys, to be honest, if we come back here, we have done this a few times in the past, comparing our macro golden pocket retest of the macro. Let me actually hide some of this stuff really quickly, guys. Hide the buy bit range. We'll hide the macro value area. But what I will do is just activate the macro Fibonacci retracement, which is sitting right, third time's a charm. There it is, right? So you can see here, right? This was one of our big targets for 2024 was the macro golden pocket between 48 and 50K. But here's the thing. The reason we were looking for this to potentially happen, not only because of the nature of Fibonacci retracements, but we had also done this in the past in 2019, when we came down to the bottom of the bear market and started getting that retracement up to that golden pocket, that same macro golden pocket when pulled from the high all the way to the low. You can see we came up for that retracement before getting a significant pre-halving correction based off of that flash crash during the March 2020 dump. But you guys can see here, we never actually broke above this golden pocket in 2019, right? We just got the rejection off the of that golden pocket, right? We never went for that 786. And once you get the rejection there, you may not expect that 786 to come, but if you come on over to the current price action here, guys, we have already hit that golden pocket, retested, or hit that golden pocket, gotten a retracement, and now we have smashed through that golden pocket, and we are, and like just with the basic idea of a Fibonacci retracement, not even taking into consideration that you have the liquidity above and you have that value area high sitting above, which typically does wind up getting hit as long as you remain above the POC. But, we not only are going to expect that 786 because of that stuff, but we've already broken past the golden pocket, right? We've already gotten the retracement. We've already broken the golden pocket. So many reasons to not only be looking up at $54,467 as the next target, but if we break that, it would make a lot of sense, in my opinion, to get a move to that, shout out to Elionics, that $57,000 level at that 786 retracement. And pulling back up the Bybit chart here, now, guys, it's not guaranteed that we're going to hit this tonight or tomorrow or the next day. We may even get another correction. But remember, we are simply remaining calm and sticking to our plan, which is simply to use this value area as context into what price is going to do next, right? I always talk about this is why we love the volume profiles. It gives us amazing context into what's going to happen. So as we approach this value area high, we will take a look at the lower time frame so I can help guide you guys in figuring out if there is a reason for a rejection here. But as we approach the high of the range here, this could be where you start to look for either a short position at the value area high or a deviation from the range to look for another short position. If we don't get the short confirmations like we did up here with that wonked out swing failure pattern, if we don't get the bearish confirmations, we know where we're looking. As soon as you break that $51,100 level, you're going to expect those liquidations to take place and push us higher. And just like we are looking for shorts on this local range, not only at the value area high, but also on the deviation, we are doing the exact same thing on the macro range, guys. You zoom out and you take a look at this. Let me come to a higher time frame to make it a little bit more palatable, right? Just like that tiny little range we're looking at, we are looking at this macro range in the same manner. Looking for the value area high to get hit. We can look for shorts here, but if we don't get the bearish confirmations at that key level, we can look for the breakout to our next key level, which would complete the full Fibonacci 786 retracement, where we can look for a short entry if we do not get it at the value area high, which not only would you be getting the 786 retracement, but you'd also be deviated above your range, which could open up the door to look for some potential scalp shorts back to the downside, potentially to retest that value area high as support, which will be very, 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 very bullish in my opinion. If we wind up decisively breaking out of this range and flipping this value area high to support, guys, the next key level after that, if we do test that $57,000 786, the next level after that, in my own opinion, guys, like basically I'd be looking up towards the all-time high, right? The Bitcoin all-time high. In which case, if we do wind up getting there before the actual halving takes place, it will be a first for Bitcoin. But as you guys know, as time goes by and as every cycle that goes by, it increases not only the likelihood of the cycle changing, but all cycles have a little bit of a different flavor to them, right? And maybe this could be the cycle where we reach that previous all-time high before the actual halving takes place. Not guaranteed, right? But it is something I am open to depending on what price looks like when we get up to these next macro levels. But let's go ahead and see. Let's see. Shout out to RC Moore. Thank you for that super chat. He said, noob. Shout out to you, bro. I'm a noob. Like I'm like getting old here, so I almost didn't even know what that meant. So shout out to RC. I'm a noob at not boomer stuff. Shout out to RC Moore. I'm not even a boomer. I'm like such a millennial. It's not even funny. But shout out to RC Moore. Said, noob, did you pull the fib from the top or the bottom? Shout out to you, brother. These fibs are pulled from the all-time high from the top, the very, very top at $69,000, all the way to the bear market bottom down here at 15, called 15.5. So they are pulled from the top down, right? If I were looking for supportive Fibonacci levels, I would pull it from the low to the high, right? So if I were looking for we were expecting a big correction to the downside, and I were looking for that golden pocket retracement, I'd pull it from the low to the high. And we all know, right? We've looked at this many times. No reason for me to actually look down here right now. But if we did get some kind of a crazy black swan, which as you guys know is not unlikely at this point in my opinion, but if we did wind up getting a huge move down, this would be a huge level of support to look at. That macro golden pocket, macro value area low confluence right here. But again, that is not what this stream is for. We are looking up, and if we are looking down, we're not looking that far down. But if we are looking down, guys, let me zoom into the local price action here, because like I said, we're in a nice situation here, right? Because if we don't get bearish confirmations here, we could look for a bigger move to the upside. And as we approach this value area high, let's check some of these lower time frames, right? Take a look at the 15-minute, right? Looking for bearish divergences here. We are not getting them, right? We have just invalidated a bearish divergence here with that higher high in your momentum wave. So at least in my opinion, at first glance here, I would not necessarily be looking. Okay, so you are starting to put some kind of bearish divergence in here at that value area high. However, typically, I do like to wait for some kind of deviation above the range high. Because if I actually pull this back to this price action, you could see, actually, let me go ahead and unextend that to the right. More often than not, guys, we will get some kind of deviation above. Like even on these bearish divergences, you got a bear div right here, but then you wound up deviating a bit more, printing another drive of bearish divergence before coming back into the range. So could you be looking for a short up here at the value area high? And I want to be clear, a scalp short. This is probably the place to be doing it, right? So you are starting to get some, they're starting to invalidate potentially. We have to wait for this red dot to print to see if we actually get the bear div. But remember here, guys, if I actually remove the regular volume profile and I pull up the Frankie Candles Essentials, shout out to Tony D and the mods. If somebody can potentially drop that link to the tutorial for the Frankie Candles Essentials Indicator by Lux Algo, that would be super, super helpful. But if we pull up the Frankie Candles Indicator here, guys, or the Frankie Candles Volume Profile, I should call it, you could see that this is basically what this indicator is meant to do, right? It's basically here to notify you when you have specific divergences in specific spots on the chart to let you know that maybe a significant high or low is being put in and you can look for a trade in the opposite direction. So let me go ahead and pull up Market Cipher B, right? Because I look for my divergences on Market Cipher B, so I am selecting the multi-time frame divergences to look at Market Cipher B for the actual divs. And you can see here that we deviated above the range here. We got those sauce cans. We got bearish divergences. Money flow comes out. I know it's kind of small here. We get a move back into the range, right? And then even right here, this is why you should never trade this as signals, right? You are not supposed to trade these as signals, but you got another bearish divergence as you deviate below the range. But although you did get a move up, which could have been scalpable, you did at least make it to the POC. But if you look here, money flow was coming out as that was happening, right? So that wouldn't have been a very strong divergence. And that is why I say you don't want to trade this indicator as signals, right? Because if you're just waiting for sauce cans to print to long and short, one more time, to be very clear, that is not how this indicator is supposed to be used. I am, just because it's my indicator, I'm not just going to sit here and pretend that you could blindly follow it as signals and make infinite money, right? It would probably be beneficial for views and clicks and downloads of the indicator, even though it's free. But that is just not how it works, right? Like, this would be an invalidated signal, in my opinion, because money flow was going against the bullish divergences that we're forming here. But that is the idea of the indicator. And if you came up to a higher time frame, you actually did get better signals down here as money flow was coming up to get into a long trade. We actually took that trade in the premium Discord. But if we look here, there we go, it's starting to continue to break out. That is basically how this indicator is coded, right? It's looking to find out which deviations above the range are legitimate to look for moves back into the range, right? So as we deviate here, you can see bearish divergence has been invalidated. Likely, we are not going to get a sauce can up here, letting you know that you may be able to push a bit higher. So just to kind of break down how we trade these ranges, I just did want to go over that. If you guys are interested in checking out that indicator, you could go ahead and just go ahead and search TradingView. Super cool. Frankie Candles. Just type my name or type in Frankie and you'll see it. Make sure it's by Lux Algo. It's 100% free. It'll work just like this. You click it and drag it right onto your chart. And you can check the video that we made recently so you can learn exactly how I like to use it. But simply put here, guys, trade in this value area, right, until we get that breakout or breakdown. But I would be expecting a breakout based off of what we just talked about in the beginning of the stream. So with all that being said, guys, I mean, I think that's what we got on Bitcoin, right? Value area high is the next target. If we get above there, we know we can deviate to that $57,000 786 level up here, but we're kind of far away at this point. But simply put, my plan remains exactly the same, guys. Just looking to scalp this until we get the bigger moves, right? We'll be looking for shorts at the value area high. If we do get some kind of crazy move down overnight out of nowhere, key level of support is obviously going to be that blue box we talked about earlier at, between 50,000 and about 49,700, where we have that fresh daily level. And then one other kind of bonus level I would keep in mind here is that $49,275 786 retracement, because you guys know sometimes if we did get that breakdown, right, if you don't hold that golden pocket, you might get that wick down to the 786 before finally getting that next move to the upside. So that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. But one really, really interesting thing I want to talk about today, guys, is, of course, Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. And guys, shout out to anybody who has been watching these live streams for the past at least month. You should be updated on what we are looking at for ETH. And guys, I want to have a little bit of a party here on the stream. As you guys know, we have been simply waiting for Ethereum to flip this value area low to support and cause that bigger move to the upside, hitting that $3,000 level, which I'll be honest with you guys, when I made the video back a couple of weeks ago, I think it was a little over a month ago I made that video now, I felt a little bit crazy calling for a $3,000 Ethereum, but here we are, using the same technique we've been using here time and time again, looking for the value area low to get broken, that key doorway to higher prices. And I mean, guys, it's beautiful. This is beautiful. This is what we do on this channel. We look for those ranges, we find them, we fine tune them, we find those exact levels we need to break, and bada boom, bada bing, bing bong, we come up to that $3,000 level. And I'll be honest with you guys, we are not even at the POC of the range, which is technically the next target for Ethereum. But you have to understand, we also do have these other key levels from back here, which are potentially going to give us some turbulence. But remember, if you're looking at this as a volume profile, you go from the value area low, flip it to support, and then the next likely place for price to go is that POC sitting closer to $3,100. And could that be the next target for Ethereum? I mean, we're almost there, right? And then that value area high is at 3183. And I mean, this is what we do. This is what we do, guys. And just super exciting to see this continue to play out, because I'll be honest with you guys, every time we look at this, I'm like, surely it's time for this to finally not play out for once, right? And they just keep proving us wrong, guys. They just keep playing out as we would expect, absolutely beautifully. So shout out to anybody who's been watching these live streams. We've been talking about this for quite some time. I don't show this to show that, oh my God, look, I was right. It grosses me out. I hate when people do that. But the reason I genuinely do this, guys, is because we've talked about exactly why we expected this move up on the live stream. Probably to a fault. We've redundantly gone over it. But the reason I do it is to help you guys find comfort and confidence in this analysis. And hopefully, as you apply it into your own TA, you find confidence in your own analysis, which will inevitably give you the confidence to actually put money on your trade that will make you a significant profit that could eventually change your life. And one day, hopefully, and probably, you could fire your boss. So that's what we're looking for, guys. Simply just like waiting to see this thing hit the POC in the value area high and just see fireworks. But simply put, next key level of resistance obviously going to be sitting here between $3,182 and $3,100. And other than that, take a look at the weekly. This was also, these bigger moves up were signaled by these weekly green dots, which were another thing we were looking at last week, anticipating some potential higher prices for the altcoins, right? Like, there are reasons why we look for this. We're not just guessing. And, you know, it doesn't mean it plays out all the time. We are wrong we are wrong here and there. But you know, these are the, probabilities are on our side. And, over time, you wind up, being right more than you're wrong. That's all you need. You don't need to be right every single time. And it's impossible to be right every single time. So if you're wrong sometimes, don't let it hurt your self-esteem or your confidence, because that's just going to hurt your trades even more. So with that being said, are we finding signs of weakness at these two levels? Which actually, let me get rid of these really quickly. Actually, let me see. Are these, I didn't label these, I believe. Are they, what were these? I believe they may have been naked daily points of control from back here. So they would have been pretty strong levels of resistance. No, what were these levels from? They were definitely important if we have them marked on the chart. But for the most part, maybe it is a golden pocket potentially. Could be. But either way, guys, this is the next target, right? Simply looking at the volume profiles, I don't see a reason why we can't eventually hit this level, even if we cool off a bit. But remember, one of the reasons why I really was expecting that push up, or why I was confident on this push up, guys, is this isn't always the case, but after looking at volume profiles for as long as I have been, you start to understand how the different types of profiles and how the different distributions of volume within the profile behave, right? And sometimes, this is not the case every single time, but sometimes when you have that POC close, you have to think about this, right? Your POC acts as a magnet. We talk about this all the time. And when your POC is at the top of the range, typically on a volume profile, the POC is somewhere in the middle of the range. Like maybe usually it's somewhere here where you get a move from the value area low, you expect turbulence at the POC, and then you look to flip the POC and come to the value area high. But the reason I was so confident on this Ethereum move, the reason we made the pre-recorded video warning the Mafia about this potentially happening, and the reason we were so confident was because that POC is all the way at the top of the range anyway. The POC is above $3,000, and if our target, and we know that magnet is the POC, and it's above $3,000, chances are, if we hold this range as support, we are very likely going to see that number come in. So there you go, right? We're showing this live on the live stream. This is how we do it. And hopefully you guys are learning along the way. Shout out to the CandleMafia. And shout out to Jason Ackerman. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Thank you very much. He says, do you mainly just trade Bitcoin, or do you look at alts as well? If so, what alts do you watch for trades? Thanks, boss. Shout out to Jason. Yes, I trade, as of right now, I do trade mostly Bitcoin. And that's for a couple of different reasons, right? Number one, if you start trading, you have to understand. First of all, most things follow Bitcoin. Now, this is not the case for every single altcoin, but most things will follow in Bitcoin's footsteps as far as price action goes. If Bitcoin dumps, all the alts will likely dump for the most part, right? I know there's outliers, but for the most part, that is how it works. And on top of that, all different altcoins will behave differently. Like, even though it's all crypto, assets do behave slightly different. So I trade mostly Bitcoin. Like right now I'm in an ETH, not an ETH trade, a Matic long still. I've already locked in like $4,000 in profit, up another 5-ish K. I'm not logged in right now. Where's my phone? But yeah, I am in a Matic trade, so we do trade alts, but the setups really have to be there, because when I talk to people, especially in the premium Discord, I really urge people, like, if you start looking at every altcoin, you're going to wind up getting into low probability trades because you think you see these setups popping all over the place, and they're just really not there. But just to pull up the Matic trade really quickly, without having to log in on the computer. Yeah, so I was actually wrong. So I have about $4,000 locked in, and then we're actually up 6,400 in unrealized profits. I don't want anyone thinking I'm faking this because I don't want to log in on the computer. But there you go. Let me see if I can get this in focus. Bada boom, bada bing. Right, there we go. I'm trying to point to it with my mouse. But there you go. We got 6,400 locked in. Then we got $4,000. I'm still pointing at it on the screen. But we got that locked in profit as well. I thought it was up 5K. I guess 6,400 was the real number. So I trade alts, but the setups really have to be there. I just don't overtrade. Overtrading is like one of the biggest problems for new traders, in my opinion. Everybody wants to jump in. Oh my God, I'm going to get into long here, a short here. It's exciting. It's fun. Everybody sees the dollar signs. Trust me, I did the exact same thing. But I just really recommend, especially if you're a beginner, stick with Bitcoin, nail that down, nail that one asset, and then slowly add one more asset you want to look at, right? Don't add 50 different assets. And speaking of 50 different assets, shout out to Golden for gifting another 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Crypto Billy, you get one, you get one, you get one. Shout out to unbelievable. Kid Crypto, welcome to the Mafia, bro. Shout out to everybody who just got a membership. The other TJ, well, we got yo, let's go. Shout out to Golden. I see you, bro. I see you. Yo, spam those golden emojis, guys. This man is a legend. And after meeting him and talking to him, he's even more of a legend than I thought. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to Golden. And Michael says, oh, my God. Yeah, you pop into this chat and you're like, what the heck is going on here? We got free stuff flying all over the place. Shout out to Golden, bro. You are this YouTube channel. Let's see, just started trading and am jumping around every chart I can find. Well, shout out to Weiss Technology. It's okay to jump around the charts as long as you're not just like jumping into all these crazy trades, right? Especially if you're new. I advocate for being obsessed with the charts, right? Look at every chart, find setups. But if you're new, practice with a demo account. Practice with your trade tool on TradingView, right? Come to 1, 2, 3, 4 tools down. Click the, I call it a drawer, as some people say. But you click on this little app draw right here, or tool draw, come on over, and you could click long and short position, and you could simply, let's say you wanted to take a long from here, which I would really not recommend because you are approaching resistance, but there's your stop loss and then your profit target, and you could just see if price winds up playing out. Like if you were looking for a long at the value area low, which would have been a much better position to look for a long at, you could just do this and see if it plays out in your favor. I just don't recommend risking a bunch of money as a new trader on all these different altcoins. Stick to Bitcoin, nail that down, and by the way, nailing down Bitcoin could take you years, 2 years, even trading in general is going to take you longer than 3 days to figure out. It's going to take you longer than a month. It's most likely going to take you more than a year, right? Trading is not as easy as people on YouTube like to make it seem. And trust me, I have every incentive to make you guys think that you can effortlessly get rich trading crypto, but my moral compass does not allow me to do that because it's not the truth. The truth is it's hard. The truth is it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and practice, and it takes sometimes a lot of lost money. They call it market tuition, but please understand this, guys. Once you figure this out, and you actually understand what you're looking for as far as setups and how to manage the risk and how to manage the emotions, you figure this out, guys, it is the biggest reward at the end of the tunnel. You can make money from literally anywhere. You can't just lay on a beach and do nothing and make money, right? You still have to work and look at the charts and be disciplined. But you don't have to go to an office every day. You can make money from sitting at your own desk at your own house or on your phone, right? It is the biggest reward if you stick this through and learn it. Trust me, if you want to change your life financially, even in crypto, right? People think they have to wait for the bull market. Shout out to the Mafia, the OGs that have been here since I started the channel, which, by the way, was literally at the start of the bear market. We crushed it in the bear market and made almost just as much money trading in the bear market as we did in the bull market, or as I did in the bull market because I didn't have my YouTube channel. So you don't even need to wait for the bull markets. Once you figure this stuff out, there is money to be made every time you sit down at your desk, as long as the setups present themselves. But I don't want to come across here like you guys can just buy a buy and sell indicator and trade based off it, right? I just told you my own indicator should not be traded like that. It's not that easy. But trust me, it is the most rewarding thing. Like that Matic trade, for example. I'll just share some personal stuff with you guys. Like that Matic trade is 64. It's up like 10K, right? I used to have to work so long to make $10,000, and now I just made this in a week or maybe a week and a half, right? By clicking some buttons on my computer. But I didn't get there easily. There were years of me blowing up accounts and losing trades. I didn't get there quickly, but I stuck it through. And now I'm in a position where I can do this and make money with much less physical labor than I used to have to do to make this money, right? So trust me, coming from me, the reward is beyond worth it. But you gotta be a certain kind of person to stick it through. I will say that. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Multi-sig dummy says, "Preach, Frankie." Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Crypto Pollo, OG of the channel. Says, "Remember those days? I learned to short on this channel." Shout out to Crypto Pollo. And the only thing better than making money on face melting pumps to the upside is knowing how to make money when it comes back down. You literally feel like you're cheating. But guys, I want to be very clear. I don't make 10K on every single trade I make, right? I got into a little scalp last night, $250, right? So I'm not always, it's not every trade I'm just easily making $10,000. And I also lose trades sometimes too, right? But over time, we are right more than we're wrong, and we're able to remain profitable by doing that and keeping tight risk management. So that's the message of this live stream, guys. Trading is not easy, but I promise you it is the most rewarding thing. If you figure it out, this is the most rewarding thing you could possibly do. Fire your boss, do what you want, gain your time freedom. It's not about getting rich. I like Lambos, guys. I like Lambos. I like cars. I like McLarens. I like Lambos. I would love a C8 Corvette, right? But it's not about that. For me, and it might be about that for you, but for me, it's about the freedom of time. It's about me being able to, which obviously I kind of have a bunch of jobs here. I'm a YouTuber. I sometimes edit videos. I'm answering DMs, right? So I'm a content creator, so it's a little bit mixed. I kind of have another job on top of trading, but it's the most rewarding job in the world. And my goal is to eventually, at some point, be able to have so much time freedom, which would require me taking a step back from the YouTube channel. So we're talking like 100 years in the future, guys. But for you guys, if you figure trading out like we do, this is where you could have full-time freedom. My goal to be a profitable trader and actually make sustainable money doing this, my goal was to spend more time with Mrs. Candles, not have to work all the time, right? We kind of wound up in a different situation, but we got gifted with the CandleMafia, which is well worth it. But think about the time freedom. That's what it is for me, right? I can spend more time with my family, and overall, I can help people not only by educating them on how to trade and make money for themselves, but when someone asks me like, "Hey, I need some help doing this," being in a position to be able to financially help people that you care about and solve problems that they might not be able to solve on their own, like these are the things that drive me. And it doesn't mean that has to drive you, but these are the things that drive me. It's not about being flashy and being rich, right? Rich, Lamborghinis, whatever, right? And those things are cool, right? I'm not saying I'm never going to drive around a Lamborghini, but, it's not about that. It's about helping people, and it's about getting time freedom, right? Because that is literally the most valuable asset you have is your time, and you cannot make more of it. Come on, Elon Musk. Come on, do something about that. But anyway, guys, that's enough of this little rant here. I just wanted to help you guys just because this was such a clear thing we've been talking about, and it played out, right? And this is what we teach on this channel, and that's the goal of this YouTube channel is to have every single one of you guys in that position. So there you go. Shout out to you. When Lambo giveaway, that's the thing, guys. It's like, when my first Lambo that I buy, I'll probably give it to my dad or something. I don't know. But let's go ahead and continue on. I want to be clear. Just because my goals are that does not mean that has to, maybe your goal is to make an extra $100 a week or something. And that's an amazing goal, right? That doesn't mean, everybody is different and you don't have to have the same exact goals. So I don't want anyone thinking I'm like trying to tell you how to live your life. You live your life however you want. But that's what drives me. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's see. Shout out to Dixon. Let's get it. Yo, shout out to Red Elephant. Not true. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. Gifted another shot. Speaking of giving back to people, Golden out here. Oh my God, Golden. YouTube's going to ban you permanently, bro. Shout out to Golden. Everybody in the chat gets a membership, apparently. So shout out to Golden. I know you probably feel the same way I do, bro. And this is what this community is about. Just giving back and not only from me, but from the community. And Golden is undefeated. So shout out to you, bro. Congrats to everybody who just got a membership. And with all that being said, guys, if you want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and let us know which ones we're looking at. And shout out to Jordy Cicero for being in the chat, bro. What is going on? Welcome back in. Chat is absolutely flying. But while you guys are getting those altcoins ready, let's go ahead and take a look at Matic. And the reason I want to take a look at Matic here, guys, is because we saw something very interesting pop up here. And it actually has to do with the liquidity. And, Just like we were looking at on Bitcoin, yo, the chat is going insane right now. Just like we were looking at on Bitcoin, where I was saying that there is liquidity sitting between about $53,100 and that $54,400 value area high. And if you guys, not that if you remember, but as I was just saying, right, let's say I'm going to draw this box, right, 54.4 to 53.1, right? We know that there are a lot of liquidations here, just roughed out here. We know that there is a big chunk of liquidations up here, and we know our value area high is sitting right here. So if we know that once we break into these liquidations and stop losses, that it's going to add extra buy pressure to the market from all the market buys that are created from those stop losses getting triggered, if we know that's going to add fuel to that push up to that $54,000 level, well, what can we do with that information while looking at Matic? Well, this is something that I literally put in the Discord just before the premium Discord, just before the live stream. And guys, we actually did have a little bit of short liquidations sitting up here between about $1.02 and $1.01. And if we come to a lower time frame, I was letting the Discord know, hey guys, we just tapped on the door to those liquidations, right? Just like this. We came up, bing, bong, right? We came down, and this is where I updated them and said, hey guys, we are knocking on the door. I mean, maybe I could just pull it up. Let me see what I have open here. Please don't leak anything important. Okay, cool. I got PTSD from pulling up the Discord on live, guys. But you can see here, right? As we were knocking on this door, I was letting everybody know, hey guys, Matic is knocking on the door to these liquidations, and this could push the value. This could push us to the value area low at $1.02. This is the doorway to higher prices. So although we may find resistance at first, if we flip that level decisively, this could be the start of a much bigger move up. But the idea here is what happens when we hit this level. We are likely going to get that push through the level because of the liquidations taking place. And guys, what happened? We came up to the level, and then boom, we ripped right over it. And now what is going on for Matic? Super exciting. We are simply looking to flip this value area low to support. And if we're able to do so, that is where we're going to look for a bigger move up to the upside, very similar to Ethereum. Remember, we looked for that value area low to get flipped. Wrong Ethereum chart. There we go. Looking for that value area low to get flipped before getting the bigger move to the upside through that macro range. And we are simply looking at the same exact thing for Matic, where if we are able to flip this level to support, that's where the bigger move up may be able to take place. And our next major target, in my opinion, now this isn't likely going to be just a straight move up to that level, but the next major target is this monthly naked point of control sitting at $1.11. And again, like, are we likely to kind of hover around here, maybe even potentially lose the range again and cool off again before approaching one more time, before getting that breakout? This could be possible as well. We don't know what's going to happen. That's why we assess the price action as it develops, right? But as we take a look here, as long as we remain above that value area low, the doorway to $1.11 is open, sitting at that monthly naked point of control. And to be honest, if we're talking in the grand scheme of the volume profiles, guys, like, what happened last time we knocked on this door, right? We tapped on the door here, yeeted right to the upside, came back down, hit our head, broke above, right to the POC. So you have to understand, although we do have that monthly naked point of control sitting here at $1.11, the next major target for, the next real target based off the volume profiles is going to be $1.46, where that point of control of the macro range is sitting. And in the long term, I am not calling for this to happen today or tomorrow or even in a month or two. But if we do wind up getting over that monthly naked point of control, next target's the POC. And just to be clear, it always was the POC. We just expect turbulence at these internal levels of resistance. But once you flip that POC, guys, we could be on our way to this value area high / macro golden pocket retracement sitting at almost $2, right? This is the move that Bitcoin did basically last year, right? Like, this is the move. We came from the bottom of the bear market, or I should say bottom of the bear market. We rallied all the way up into the macro value area, filled it from the value area low up to that 48 to 50K golden pocket on Bitcoin. This is a very similar thing, but a lot of the altcoins are now in that position. Are we going to see the altcoins kind of mimic that macro bull market range fill that Bitcoin did last year and partially this year, right? Potentially. And that's what I'm looking at on Matic, guys. In the long term and medium term, not looking too bad. Now, locally, taking a look here, we actually did have this daily red dot, which is shockingly, this VWAP has been above the zero line for 15 days, right? And it's not often that your VWAP remains above the zero line for that long. We were printing the red dot for a minute. On that push to the upside, as we got those liquidations to occur through this little pocket, we did unprint that red dot, so it is not here. But once we confirm that red dot, guys, that's kind of where I would expect a little bit more of a pullback. But again, real key context here is this value area low. Holding that as support is going to be the most important thing at $1.02. All right, let's go ahead and see. Shout out to DC, said, how do we send money here? DC, shout out to you, bro. No need to send money. I appreciate you so much. I actually kind of feel like a jerk telling you how to send us money. So I'm not going to say it. If someone in chat wants to help you out. Yeah, I appreciate you so much. I think he's asking how he can send us money. But no, shout out to you, brother. I do appreciate you. Yeah. Let's continue on here. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Shout out to Norinan, what is going on, bro? Shout out to you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you so much, brother. He says, if Godfather Frankie gets a car, will it be will be called Bing Bong? Will Tony D be the chauffeur? And can we also look at Ada? Yes, we can take a look at Ada right now. As Rob the Crypto Snob, I'm sure, is still counting up the votes because they did come in pretty aggressively. But I want to clear something up, Norinan. I will say this. If you want to know something about Tony's character, he would be happy to be my chauffeur, which is why I would just buy him whatever car I got. We'd have matching cars. I would never make Tony T drive me around ever. And the reason for that is because I know he'd be like, yeah, dude, I don't care. I'll drive you around, man. Like, we're friends. And for that reason, I would never make him do it. And I would literally just, whatever car I get, he would get. Except his car would be different. He has a different taste in cars. So I would just get him wherever he wanted. But yeah, no, we would do that together for sure. Shout out to Tony D and shout out to Nornan for the super chat. And yes, the Frankie Candles Lamborghini, or maybe Frankie Candles McLaren, even though they break down a lot, will be called Bing Bong on the license plate. Please nobody steal that. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat. Said, pro tip, get TradingView and follow along. You'll be doing your own analysis in just a few weeks. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. Yo, Golden, let's go, bro. Shout out to you for saying that. Golden was talking about how we were able to help him a lot as well. And he's in a position to help already. So shout out to Golden. I appreciate you so much, bro. And he's not wrong. He's absolutely right, guys. Get a free TradingView account, and if you have questions about free indicators, you don't necessarily need the premium indicators. We have discount codes for everything if you want them, but you can do this all with free indicators or no indicators at all. You just need the volume profile and the RSI. If I really had to go bare bones, I would go volume profile, RSI, Fibonacci levels, and I guess naked points of control. You don't necessarily need indicators to find those, so you can find those for free as well. Yeah, shout out to Baja, says, Golden for the win. Absolutely. Dave Digital says, man up, get a truck. Yeah, I'm torn on that too, Dave. I don't know. Get a nice Ram, maybe a Raptor if I want Ford. I don't know. But shout out to Dave. Do you have a truck? Let me know in the chat. But let's go ahead and continue on. Chemistry Bro says, I've never even driven a car. Interesting, Chem Bro. Do you live in a city? Maybe you live in a city? Shout out to Chem Bro. All right, let's continue. Or do you have a show for Chemistry Bro? Let me know. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, said, pin my next chat. I got you, brother. Let's go. And now, shout out to Jeep Life. Lou, that is literally Tony's taste. Tony is a huge Jeep guy. ETH is pumping. Yo, let's go. Okay, so let's pull up the other ETH chart. Yeah, so we do have a monthly naked point of control up here. Yeah, I mean, hey, here we go, guys. Let's get it. Let's see. Working its way up towards that POC. But yeah, Tony D is a big Jeep guy. He wants an EV Jeep. That's his thing right now. And maybe we could try to make that happen. But let's see. ETH will dump now, hopefully. BTC is falling. I don't look like it's falling to me. But let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Stop. Thank you for getting those altcoins. And let's go ahead and take a look at GRT. Let's jump into it. Shout out to the 805 people concurrently watching this stream right now. If you guys smash that like button and we get 550 likes, we will be giving away 5 of these Frankie Candles hats on Friday's giveaway. Let's get it. All right, let's see. Take a look at the daily on GRT. Let me crack this Aztecian Cactus Moss Water real quick. People have been sending me scary videos about people who drink energy drinks. Not going to lie, guys. This is my first Aztecian Cactus Moss Water this week. They kind of made me nervous with those videos. These things are really bad for you. But Aztec King Cactus Moss Water, as you know, is all organic and super healthy. So keep that in mind. But anyway, taking a look here at GRT. Actually looks very similar price action-wise to VeChain. Like almost identical. Oh, man, look at that. Okay, take a look at GRT. Let's zoom out a bit. Taking a look at the daily. Red dot is printing. That is something we got to keep an eye on. Money flow is back in the green. Let's go ahead and check that 90-minute money flow because as you guys know, woo. All right, so this 90-minute money flow, guys, it is coming back up locally, right? We are kind of bing-bonging back to the upside locally. However, take a look here. You are trending down, breaking, Once we break this level on the money flow at about 17.05, once we wind up cracking that high, that is what I would consider a fake out on this 90-minute money flow. However, if this VWAP rolls over, gives us a red dot, and that money flow tanks and crosses into the red as we are printing the red dot on the daily, that would be a significant signal, in my opinion, to look for more downside. However, as of right now, it is locally coming up, so that is somewhat invalidated at this point, but we'll have to wait for a little bit more clarity on what is going on here with that money flow. If we pull our Golden Pocket 70, actually, you know what I'm going to do here? Let me go ahead and, where did I pull this range from? Let's pull up the VPVR really quick here. And let's see here. Yeah, I mean, we've broken out of the significant bear market range here, right? You can see all your volume is being traded down here. Not much volume above. We are clung up here. We have a little spike in volume right here that we're clinging to. However, I'll be honest, guys. Next real level I'd be looking at is 41 cents. Now, I know we're very far away. You're like, Frankie Candles, that's like a 2x from here. Yes, it is. But it's not that we don't have other levels of resistance above, but for the most part, there is not much here. Let me see if I can find a, let me see. Do we have more price history? There we go. This has more price history. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is much better. But same idea here, but we have much more information to work with, right? So if you guys are looking at charts and you are not finding, you want to make sure you're looking at a chart that has significant price history because look at all this volume that we were not seeing on the previous chart. This is very important to look at. However, still very similar, but we have broken out of that bear market range here, right? We are above that high volume node, this big shelf of volume up here. In my opinion, the key level to remain above is really 22 cents, right? Because as long as we remain above that level, we could continue to work our way up here to that next high volume node, which is coming in at about 37 cents, which is obviously that same exact range that we were looking at on the previous chart right here with the POC at 41 cents, right? That same level we were looking at there. But we have a better visualization of the actual volume being traded because if you're looking at this chart, you know that your next value area is actually sitting right here, but you know that you have a pretty significant gap, right? We're clung up on this high volume node right here. It's likely going to give us a little bit more resistance, but once you crack that, this is your next significant level of resistance. So yeah, if we were looking at this sooner, we would have said, hey, if you break this high volume node, right, or you break this shelf of volume, you're probably going to get a quick move through the low volume gap into your next key level. So right now, guys, 33 cents is your next target. Once we get up there, you may see a little bit of resistance, right? But once you flip that level to support, this is where you're looking for that range to fill. And to be honest, if you break out of this value area high, you might even just really start yeeting up here towards about, 70 cents, which is your next more macro value area high sitting right there. So that is really what I'd be looking at on GRT. Other than that, maybe we cool off locally based off that red dot on the daily. Your 4-hour VWAP is starting to roll back to the upside, so maybe you bing-bong around here a little bit, but the next major target is going to be that 33-cent level at that value area low, which, by the way, is going to be your doorway to higher prices, right? Your doeth, if you will. But anyway, that is what I would be looking at on GRT, even coming on down to the super, super low time frames here. Pulling some fibs. Let's pull from the high to the low here. And you can see that golden pocket is indeed perfectly lined up with this volume, right? So go ahead, pull that as your resistance, right? And then if you wind up breaking out locally here above this high volume node, flip this to support. You may get a quick move up to that golden pocket, but understand you are going to see resistance there. Excuse me, just choked on myself there. If you continue to the upside, you are going to be looking at that 786, sitting at about 26 cents. So these are your local levels, and I will just, these are going to be your local levels. Key level to break in the local price action is going to be right here, 24 cents. Key resistance at about 25.8, between 25.8 and about 26.7. And that's what I'd be looking at on GERT. Let's go. All right. Excuse me. Continuing on. Let's see. Bada boom. Only Chevy and GMC make trucks. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go. Found on the road dead. Is that what people call Fords? Shout out to Dave Digital. I actually do like Chevy and GMC trucks. I feel like people gravitate towards Dodge and Ford. I really like the way the Chevy and GMC trucks look, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, let's continue on here. Let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Creighton C. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. 12 Big in the chat. Hodl Crypto. What is going on? Crypto Crabman. Mark Dutch. We got the whole team here. I'm a hero. Let's get it. But let's shout out to Coin Watcher. Said take profits. What's that? Wick 589 said Randy get anything? Where are we going with this? Shout out to Wick 589. I have no idea what's going on. But let's continue on here and take a look at Kada. Some people call it. We have not looked at Kadena in quite some time, guys. We're probably going to look at these lines, guys. These are old. This might be from before I had the YouTube channel, if I'm being honest with you. How far back does this go? Let's see. We're on the 24-minute. We don't need that. Okay, never mind. They're old. They're not as old as I thought. Good Lord. I don't even know what this is. Is this one fib? What is this? This is not mine. I used to share TradingView accounts, or I used to give people access to my TradingView account so they could take a look at my indicators. This is not my fib. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Taking a look at the daily. Wow. I really can't remember the last time we looked at Kadena. Let's see. Shout out to 12 Big said I tagged you in the trading channel. Shout out to 12 Big. I will check that out. Due to new Frankie Candles policy, though, I cannot check that on stream. 12 Big, I don't know if were you here during the really holy stream that we had? If not, ask questions in chat. Somebody will clear it up for you and why we can't bring that up. But I will check that. But let me go ahead and continue on here. Daily is printing the red dot, which is pretty common across most things, at least the alts right now. Red dot is printing. Money flow is locally coming out as well as trending down over time. Bada boom, right? So this would technically indicate more bearish action, in my opinion, but there could be exceptions as we've gotten a big fake out on Bitcoin on the daily. 12 Big said, oh boy, do I want to know. Hey, Dave, fill in 12 Big. Fill him in, brother. Fill him in. And be clever about it, as you are. But let's continue on here. Some kind of flaky stuff on my microphone here. Chemistry Bro said, I don't know if you want to know. Okay, let's shout out to Bruno. Yeah, we'll check Solana for sure. But let's continue on here. Taking a look at Kadena. Let me go ahead and get some of these macro levels for you guys really, really quickly. Bada boom. Bear with me. Bada boom, bada bing. Trying to find more local levels. Yeah, these are kind of... Let's find some more. Okay, so let me go ahead and looks like we're going to have to take the support here. Bada boom. Okay, so this is going to be a key level of support. Right down here, if you wind up getting a move all the way back down, this would be kind of the next place I would be interested in a scalp long position if we got the confirmations. See if we have some confluence here with any kind of fibs. Whatever that means. Not the most beautiful confluence that I like to see. So in that case, yeah, in that case, I'm not going to take that fib. But this is going to be key, right? 2 daily naked points of control. Let's go ahead and pull this. I'm actually going to pull this as a trend, right? Giving us, typically, this is kind of a wonked out range, but we can still analyze the volume in here to try to figure out what is likely to happen next. So, yeah, if we deviate back below this range, actually, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to pull up the heat map really quickly. Can we get Kadena on the heat map? Come on. Come on. Let's see. Let's pull up the chart here. Let's see if we can get Kadena on this chart. No. Okay, so no Kadena heat maps, unfortunately. But what I'm trying to see is if we have significant liquidity below these lows. What we could do is pull up Lux Algo. And, yeah, okay, so we're on the daily smart trail here, which is key support. Yeah, this is a saucy level here, guys. On top of that, our previous weekly low, or is that a monthly? Yeah, previous monthly low. Let me go ahead and turn on the liquidity swings. Yeah, this is a saucy level, right? If we wind up getting a move back to the downside here and we dip either into these naked daily points of control, let me hide the indicators to make it clear. We dip back into these naked daily points of control. Remember, you also do have the Lux Algo Smart Trail coming into that area as well, adding a little bit of extra sauce to that level. But if we dip into those naked daily points of control, deviate from the bottom of the volume profile, and we get some kind of bullish confirmations, you could look for a potential scalp long back to the high of the range. However, you're going to have to see what price action is doing at those levels, right? Because that red dot on the daily could easily bring us back down here to test those naked daily points of control, and the previous monthly low right here could be another key level to look at for a potential swing failure pattern, right? So not only would you look for a bounce off the naked daily points of control, but if you continue down here and lose that kind of low right here, which, by the way, for anyone listening, is coming in at about 90 cents, looking for a break below, candle closure back above the level, and that could be a significant confirmation that we are going to reclaim that value area low and continue back to the high of the range, which is sitting at about $1.33. So that is what I will be looking at here on Kadena. In the shorter term, let's take a look at these more local levels. If you were looking at, money flow on the 4-hour trending to the downside with confirmed bearish divergences, right? This is oftentimes the sign of a little bit of local weakness on the 4-hour time frame, right? Lower highs on your momentum waves, higher highs on your price action, giving you those bearish divergences, those open alligator mouths that puke out those purple candles. So with this money flow coming out on the 4-hour and that daily red dot, keeping in mind that once this VWAP comes back up, you're likely to get some kind of a bounce, right? So maybe, I'm not saying you're going to come down directly from here. You might bounce again. But if that money flow crosses over into the red, especially when you have that red dot on the daily, that could indicate that you are going to start a little bit of a bigger downtrend to potentially attack some of these lower levels, which, why did this disappear? Don't want to lose that previous monthly level right about here at 90 cents. So going to be the big, just typical value area stuff here. But that's what I would be looking at on Kadena. There we go. All right, let's see. Bada boom. Yo, Wick, I don't know what I walk into on chat, guys, but Wick589 said he's got some weirdo stuff recorded on beta tapes. Shout out to Wick. I'll send you my address if you want to share it with me. I don't know what kind of weirdo stuff you're talking about, but I'd love to see it. Shout out to Wick589. Shout out to Lonely, says, check out ETH. We actually did just look at ETH. If you scrub back, we did Bitcoin first, and then we went right into ETH. So if you scrub back to the beginning of the stream, right after Bitcoin, we look at ETH, and I give you my full thoughts. And, we're doing, it's up to date. So if you go back and check that, it will answer all of your questions. Let's see. Shout out to Blue Punk Rocker. Said, I'm convinced Golden is really SPF's prison account. That's why he has so much to give to the chat members. You can't convince me otherwise. Shout out to Blue Punk Rocker. Shout out to Golden, bro. You guys are crazy. Shout out to Coin Watcher. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said, got my hat. The coffee brown emblem and brown mesh back matches perfect. Love it. Can you look at IMX quickly? Shout out to Coin Watcher. Yes, we could drop IMX real quick right now. Shout out to you, Coin Watcher. Thank you so much for ordering that hat, brother. And hopefully you enjoy it. I literally wear one all day, every day. Sometimes I like get ready for bed and like lay down in bed, and Ms. Candles will be like, you still have your hat on. And I'm like, oh, God, that's like the last thing I take off. But anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to Dark Crash, said, when BTCTA, I think we might just skip BTCTA today and just chug some ass-taking cactus moss water, Dark Crash. But as always, you know, we were chugging that water behind the scenes. Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, let's take a look at not IMW, IMX. Shout out to Immutable. Let's go ahead and take a look at the buy bid chart. And let's see what we got going on here. Take a look at the daily. Bada boom. And yeah, I appreciate you for getting that hat, Coin Watcher. I hope you wear it in good health. But here we are. Bada boom, bada bing. It's so funny. It's like, I forget who it was. I want to say maybe it was Elite or I forget who it was, but somebody asked me to sign their hat. And I was like, really? And it was pretty cool, but I also thought, like, are you where do I sign it? Like, I don't know if you want to wear the hat with a signature on it. So I signed the inside, but it is very, very strange. Or not strange, but it is different to hear, like, oh, I want you to sign it. And I'm like, what? It's crazy. But let's see. Dave Digital said, I love that SPF is so gangsta now. Shout out to Dave Digital, bro. You never cease to make me laugh, brother. He said, I'm in the camp of SPF should only get 2 to 5 years max. Shout out to Dave Digital. I think I'm missing part of that conversation. But yo, shout out to Andy. Do what he said. I'm not going to say it out loud, but do what he said. Creepily fondle that like button, guys. Mike Vito, behave yourself, brother. But anyway, let's take a look here. Take a look at IMX. I would have said, I mean, I guess we could still potentially look for that bearish divergence here on the 2-day. But this is probably, yeah. I mean, if you continue up here, let's get the key levels first, and then we'll come back to address that divergence. Trying to see where we can get the most price history here. Let's see, Binance, that's usually good. Okay. We're going to roll with this. Let's pull our full Fibonacci retracements here from the high to the low. Okay, so this is definitely going to be key resistance, right? This golden pocket, definitely going to be a level to watch for a potential pullback. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so this is sitting at about $4.41. That is going to be the next significant level of support, or I'm sorry, resistance to the upside, pulling up our VPVR. Yeah, I mean, there isn't much above us. Is this the oldest chart? Why do I keep doing IMW? That is so strange. IMX Tether US. Yeah, it doesn't look like there is much more price history that we can find here. We do have some TA on this chart. Okay. We'll just go back to the other one. But, yeah, I would be careful here. Next major level is obviously going to be the golden pocket up here at $4.40. And I'll be honest, guys, it's kind of hard to read this with so little price history. If we do pull back, right, like this 2-day bearish divergence this may take time to print and could invalidate. However, your daily green dot is looking to print. And in my own personal experience, guys, sometimes, more often than not, I would love to see this momentum wave come down a little bit more. But if that green dot prints, you may be able to get that push up to the golden pocket. And then I would actually look for the divergence into that key level of resistance. Because, I mean, even if you pull this fib, like this is probably the fib that we're hitting right now. Come on. All right, I'll just pull it here. So, yeah. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, we are hitting that 786 as of right now. Okay, so if we flip this 786 to support, that's where I'd look for that next golden pocket at $4.40. And then at that point, I would reassess the daily time frame, right? Because if you have a bearish divergence, which has the potential to print here, right? If you get that move up, it really depends. It's probably going to be pretty easily invalidated. But if you get that lower high in your momentum wave, that's probably going to be the sign to look for a potential short. But other than that, I would be looking at the flip of this level of support to bring us up to that $4.40 golden pocket. And that's really what I'd be looking at. Now, locally, if we look in a little bit closer, I mean, you are just marching your way up. Now, this is a little bit, this is not going to be sustainable forever, right? You are marching higher high after higher high after higher high. And this is momentum marching its way down. On top of that, you also have your momentum starting to trend down. So I'm, again, off that, if you get that daily green dot, I'd look for the breakout, but I would be careful of some potential local pullbacks, right? Maybe you get a pullback down In which case, I would look at this golden pocket retracement. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, I would look at this zone right here if you do get the pullback between $3 and $2.78 on IMX for some potential support. But other than that, there is really no trade to be had here, in my opinion. I would rather wait for price to actually range and stop just kind of marching its way up. But the more this price marches to the upside, and if momentum keeps marching its way down, that is going to be a sign of weakness, in my opinion, to look for a bigger pullback. All right, let's see. Shout out to Big BLC. I'm just going to call him Big Block. Shout out to Big Block. Shout out to you, bro. Said, check HRM. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, God, it's going to be like a super low cap meme coin. Shout out to Big. I appreciate the super chat, brother. Is it on BSC? Is that what it is? Yeah, because that is the only thing popping up here. But I will shout out to Big Block. If we have time at the end, I will try to pull it up on like Dex Tools or something. But I will be completely honest with you, brother. If I did pull it up on Dex Tools, it's probably gonna be really hard to analyze because it's probably if you let me know what it is in chat, I could try to figure it out if it's gonna be worth it to look at. But typically on if it's like a low liquidity meme coin, it's gonna be very hard to do the. I mean, it's just like as I'm talking, I'm just like doing it on the other screen, so I might as well just look at it here. HRM, is it honorarium? Honorarium? I can't really see the word there, but I think this is probably what you're looking at. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah. Let me know, brother. Let me know. Is it honorarium? And let me know if that's what it is. If it is, that is going to be impossible to analyze, unfortunately, just because it's not a let me just pull it up here real quick. Yeah, I don't know if this is it, but this is impossible to analyze, unfortunately. But if you let me know in the chat, I will try to find it for you. But let's go ahead and continue on while we're waiting for BLK to answer. Where the heck did my chat go? There it is. Okay, let's see. Come on, what is going on? Minimize yourselves here. There we go. All right. Yes, honorarium. Okay, yeah. So shout out to you, brother. Yeah, it's unfortunately I'm not gonna be able to look at it just because that chart is impossible to analyze. I wish I could, but it's physically impossible. But I appreciate you, brother. Let me know if there's another coin you want me to look at. But let's continue on here and take a look at Hex. Oh, let's take a look at Hex. We have not looked at Hex in a while. Let's take a look here. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see. This is not what I want. Let's take a look. How much price history? There we go. Okay. So for Hex, we are. Hang on. There we go. This is much better. Okay, so where is this? They got up to 50 cents in 2021. So here we are. Let's take a look at this, and I will give you my honest opinion. Here we are. Money flow is somewhat, I mean, Daily Green Dot is looking to print. Daily Green Dot looking to print. If it does, we could potentially see a push to the upside. Now, pulling up our VPVR. Let's see, VRVP, bada boom, bada bing, come on, volume profile. Okay, doesn't want to load. Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the points of control on the daily, and that's not going to load either. I guess we can't do it on the trading view chart. Interesting. All right, this is not making it easy here. On the can we look at the Big Cat chart? Can we pull up the VPVR? Okay, there we go. All right, now we got at least something to look at here. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull from this impulse to the low, right about here. That is not really going to help us. That is super far away. But I would, and for a very specific reason, take this level right here, guys. Next significant level on Hex, in my opinion, if this thing is going to pump again. Key level going to be here between 0.025117 and 0.032586. If you wind up getting a hop above that value area, if you get a hop above this this shelf of volume, let me mark it with a horizontal line, at 0.010799. If we flip that to support, not much here. There's not much volume here, bringing us all the way up to that 0.25 level, 0.26 level, I guess you could call it. So once you flip this level to support, that is, in my opinion, the best chance that you have at getting a move through that low volume gap into this next key level of resistance, which is simply just a Fibonacci golden pocket 786 retracement sitting at this range right here. So that is simply what I would look at as far as what I would expect out of Hex if you flip that level. That's the if this, then that statement. Green dot is printing, so if we are going to break that high, maybe that daily green dot is what does it. One thing to keep in mind is the fact that this money flow is actually coming out pretty aggressively. And you could see, I would just be careful with this just because... yeah, this, I don't know. Maybe it's just this chart, but this does look a little wonked out. But taking a look at the 4-hour more locally here, you could take this as a range, pull our fixed range, bada boom, bada bing. And look at that. That value area high lies right on that shelf of volume, right? Like literally at that exact level. So not only is that shelf of volume the key level to flip, but really the breakout of this value area is what you need to break into that lower volume level to see a quick move up into your next key levels. Now, you're probably going to get snagged up here at these little spikes in volume. However, quick move down often results in a quick move up. This move down either caused that low volume gap or just fell through the low volume gap. And for that reason, if we flip this level to support and break into that low volume gap, that LVG, as we like to call them, will likely rip you up to that golden pocket where you'll find significant resistance. And I'm going to keep it nice and simple here on Hex, as that's it's a simple plan there. That's what I'd be looking at. There you go. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Side. Said, have a great night. See y'all tomorrow. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you for your service, my friend. I appreciate you so much. And by the way, Rob, happy birthday, brother. Shout out to you, man. Have a good night. Thank you for everything you do. And we will see you mañana. Shout out to Golden, said Cody Coin. Let's go. Shout out to Cody. If you're out there, we love you and we miss you. Please come back. Shout out to Dave Digital, said, bye, Rob. Just leave your wrench on the counter. I promise I won't steal it. I just made that up. That's not what that guys, why did I say that? Why did I say that? That's not what the chat said. I just made that up. Dave said, bye, Rob. Just leave your wrench on the counter. I promise not to stream it. Maybe he did mean steal it. Shout out to Dave Digital, always trying to get that wrench. Steal. Oh, I was right. Hey, Dave, I just know you that well. I know you that well, bro. Yeah, yo, shout out to Dark Crash, said Elena Garcia coin, ticker sign Elena. If you guys don't know, Elena is one of those scammers in the comment that says, give me your Bitcoin. I can trade it to 10x for you in 1 minute. But shout out to Dark Crash. But the hybrid family in the chat, or as I like to say, the bird family, the high bird family. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We took a look at the alts. Just got assaulted by my microphone. We took a look at the alts. We took a look at Bitcoin. And more importantly, guys, Ethereum is marching its way up to our major target. Are we going to get a pullback before we see our main target, or are we going to rip right up there? And one quick last stop off on Bitcoin, still battling that value area high, the same value area high we've been looking at all stream. So we didn't break out. We didn't see ETH hit 3K, but hopefully we can have it happen tonight or tomorrow. But with is Link about to break up or down? Shout out to Blue Punk Rocker. Stick around for the Frankie fake out. Maybe, just maybe, we'll take a look at Link. But with all that being said, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out here till the end of the stream. Y'all are the best. I appreciate you. Shout out to Golden for literally giving away, 700 memberships today. We appreciate you so much, guys. But fingers crossed for ETH. Fingers crossed for Bitcoin. But we're gonna analyze that price action as it develops. Shout out to Nate Quantum Divergence. Says, throw your alts in the Discord trading chat if they don't get hit in the streams. Shout out to Nate. We appreciate you, bro. And with all that being said, it's That's all I got. See you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. It's dang Stream Deck.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve. Stress, seal my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. Down, wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect. Let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house. And woo. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Woo. Watch out, set it up. Bet you I shut it down. Watch out, get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner. Got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare. I'm a line, but the winner about the cage. I need all the wins. Yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
Hey guys, I'm just trying to fix the Stream Deck here. Wasn't gonna hurt it, guys. I wasn't gonna hurt it, okay? I promise. Okay, anyway, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at Chainlink. Don't worry about all that. Anyway, as we take a look here, let's go ahead and jump in here. One thing that is very interesting here on Chainlink, guys, as you know, we have this very, very saucy level that we were looking at on yesterday's live stream. And I'll be honest, guys, this is a super saucy level. Not only is it a daily naked point of control, but also a weekly naked point of control. And you have a time point of control just underneath it, making it a super, super saucy level. However, and we did wind up coming down there, right? These levels act as magnets. And then earlier today, we did wind up getting that push almost to the level exactly, but we wound up front running it just slightly. Does this mean that we are likely to come back down here and test this level? In my own personal opinion, if that 4-hour money flow continues into the red, I do think it is probably going to be more likely to get a push into this box, which will be the next level I would be willing to look at for a scalp long. And yeah, because that money flow crossing into the red would indicate that the trend is likely to continue down. We got the break of these lows. We could wind up putting in a lower high and coming back down to these levels. If we do, that is the key level of support. So with all that being said, guys, I think that is just a 10-hour money flow also coming out. Green dot looking to print, though. 8-hour green dot also looking to print. So maybe you bing bong around here just a little bit. But I would look at this volume profile for some context into where the resistance might lie. I'll just give you guys this extra little sauced out level because I will stay up here all night, guys. If I wind, Mrs. Candles is going to be like, where is this man? I'm kidding. I don't even know if Mrs. Candles is home right now. But anyway, taking a look here, if we do get a push to the upside, guys, I will simply use this volume profile as context. If we get above the value area low, I will look at the POC golden pocket for resistance. If not, if we get above that, I will simply look up towards that 786 value area high. So if we do get a move up and that money flow coming out is indeed going to give us a continued move to the downside, but we are going to get a pump first, I will look for something like this or something like this. If we do not get bearish confirmations at these levels, we will simply look for a potential breakout. But with the money flow, I do think something like this is going to be a little bit more likely. One thing is for sure, if we do come down to this zone, guys, it's going to be super, super strong support. So with all that being said, guys, that's actually all we got for time for tonight. Thank you all for sticking around. Smash that like button on your way out. With all that being said, that's all I got. See you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. Oh, man, I'm going to fix this stream deck right now. Hasta pasta.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, no on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go.
Go check out Billy Goat Tales tonight on Twitter at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Go check it out. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Bro, I totally forgot today. I apologize. Show yourself in chat, guys. Go check him out. That's all I got. My chair's sinking. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.